So we're going to test whether our PCB works, so I'm going to take my magnifying tool and zoom out a little bit, and then I want to come down over here to my off-board components and pick power supply and the 9-volt battery. So I'm just going to turn that and I'm going to try and grab it. So I need my selection tool, move that over here so it's quite close to those contacts where the power is going to go in. Now I can run wires from the battery there and there, and that's now current going into my PCB. And I need a switch, so I'm going to grab a push to make switch. So I'll take that from over here as well. Again from the off-board components section, and again I'm going to need to rotate it a little bit and then drop it down here next to the battery, and again run wires from here over to the contact pads. So now remember, the switch isn't actually going to be in a circuit, we're just putting it in here to test to make sure our PCB works. Next I need some LEDs, so I need a 5mm LED. So I'm going to grab one, doesn't really matter which colour, drop that in over here somewhere, and now I can run wires from my LED. So that is the long leg, so that is the anode. I'm just going to go over to this pad, and the short leg comes over here to this pad, like so. So that is all the off-board components constructed. I've got my LED, my battery, my switch in, and now I can go ahead and push that switch, and hey presto, the buzzer comes on and the LED comes on. Now don't forget, that switch isn't actually going to be a switch, it's going to be represented by a couple of contacts you're going to place your finger across. And if you remember back to my earlier tutorials, that when you put your fingers across there, that's going to be a very high resistance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove those wires and just push my switch over into a clean bit of space up here, and let's simulate that skin's resistance. I'm going to come down to passive components, and I'm going to grab a resistor, and I'm going to put a resistor over here, like so. And now I can go ahead and connect up my switch to my resistor, and my resistor can go over to the pads on my PCB. So again, this is just to simulate what it's going to be like when we use our finger as a switch, when we're placing our finger across those contacts. So that resistor needs to be fairly high, if you remember. We'll put it up to about 2 mega ohms, I think should do the trick, so about 2 million ohm resistor. And that should simulate nicely whether how it would be when you put your finger across those contacts. Push my switch, and my LED comes on, and my buzzer comes on. So that's absolutely perfect. We can see my circuit works excellent.